All right, so what I want to do is actually make a video to talk to my peers inside of Web3. Now, I am a person that's creating a Web3 game, but I disagree with the Web3 space and just the people inside of it. I don't disagree with the technology. I think if done right, it can be used for moving us forward in a future where we just aren't controlled by the centralized companies and people to just say this can and this cannot happen. And just basically us being used as batteries inside of the system. All right, so let's get into the video. Now I want to talk about something. This is a very serious video because this is a very serious thing that I take serious. Now, right, yeah, okay, let's move forward. But so one thing I don't play with is people who have nothing. Like they just have their last $2,000 or the last $1,000 or the last $500. It doesn't matter. It could be the last of anything. It doesn't matter. It's their last, or just stealing from people. Period. And people are taking advantage of of people. Um, in this space, we are in a different um, time, I guess you could say, where it's new crimes, but it's crimes that's basically followed by old systems, which makes it the same old crimes. It's just new crimes in a new, basically, new way until the regulators come in. I do agree with regulation. I don't agree with it, whereas in it controls everything what they're trying to do with the CBD coin. But I do agree that people should be held accountable, and that's what I'm here for. My job in the gaming sector of Web3 gaming is to hold the project leaders accountable for the BS that they create and try to feed gamers. Pardon me, feed investors because they aren't actually trying to feed gamers. They're trying to monetize a concept of you guys can play the game and make money. Now we have a game that you can make money in, and it does not need a blockchain or anything like that. We just want to use the technology to move forward by doing it right. So you don't actually have to use the blockchain at all. We don't force it down people's throats. Actually, it's a regular game with just blockchain attached to it. So you don't actually have to use blockchain at all. Again, like I said, I'm a person that just disagrees with just how this whole thing is being ran, and I just wanted to do something different, is to show that it can work if done right. But first, we made sure we made a game. Now, what do we do that's different? First, let's talk about that versus our peers, okay? And how I will be holding you guys accountable. I will be calling people out. People won't really like me in the space because they would think I'll be spreading FUD, which, no, that's not what I'm here to do. My thing is, I want you guys to actually build what you're saying you're going to build and give these people who you're promising that they will make these guys money, give them what you promised them, because you will make way more money than doing what you said you're going to do than stealing from people. But let's get into what we're doing. All right, we just want to make sure that we make a video game. So what I did was I made sure I got people that know what they're doing. Our co-developer, because I'm the first developer on the project, so I actually work on side of the game. And our co-developer is a person that's been inside of the industry of AAA companies for 14 years. He worked, I think, a little more than that. He worked on some of the best games that we played on, such as True Crimes, which is crazy when I found that out. Right, that was one of my favorite games as I was a kid. True Crimes, Crackdowns, Sleeping Dogs. There's a lot more. He'll tell you. He's really a humble guy. I don't really talk about what he worked on, but he worked on for some of the biggest companies that we all know of as gamers, that we all know of. So I want to make sure on the type of game that I'm creating right now. I wanted to make sure that I wanted to get an expert. If I couldn't get a team of these guys that work directly on these type of games, because anybody that we add onto the table, we will make sure that they worked on these type of Grand Theft Auto sandbox type of games. That's just what I'm going to do because this is the genre that we're creating inside of the space. So I want to make sure that I put people in the space as the lead designer of the game. I want to make sure I put people in their positions where it makes sense, and that's basically what I wanted to do. I wanted to create a project and have people working on a project that know exactly what they're doing. We're looking for website coders due to the fact that we want people to actually know what they're talking about. So we're going to we it's a lot of stuff that we're looking for that's different. We're just not trying to get anybody to do the job. I didn't want to do that. Another thing that we did was we put skin in the game. I invest most of my money. the person that invests the most in this project is me. This is before all of the funding from big companies and stuff like that. I invested the most money inside this project, more than anybody that put money into this project. I put the most inside of this project. So if anybody loses me, I lose everything, right? So that's another thing that we did different. I believe that before you um, even take a shot on somebody, you want to make sure that they believe in themselves first. Because for just going to the leaders, I want you guys to understand something. If you don't invest in your project, that means you don't believe in the shit you're selling. I believe in what I'm selling. I believe in what I'm creating. You know it don't work, so you won't put money into it. If you won't put money behind your thing, then why would someone else put money behind it? So that was the number one thing that we did. So the first person that invested in this was me, and I'm still invested in this. Now another thing is I'm very transparent. We are a two-man team, as in on the development side of the game, and yeah, we use marketplace assets. Now not all of them will be marketplace assets. And I let my people know these are placeholders, and we're going to remove these through time. Yeah, but you can look at our game and you won't even notice what is a marketplace asset because we move them all around and put them together and change colors of them and everything like that. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what they're for. And my dev that works in the side of the triple A industry, he worked there before. We snatched him up. He said it's the best thing to do because you can make games faster instead of sitting here sculpting them. So that's also I got the confirmation from somebody that worked inside the industry, and also people in the industry, the games that we all love use assets as well. That's for the people like Big Fry. Not throwing shots at you, Big Fry, because Big Fry, you did say okay, you starting to understand. But for people that just don't get it, yeah. But I do want to talk about assets for you guys that's making Web3 games. You guys are asset flipping. Now that's completely illegal and that's against the term of service. You guys are asset flipping. It's okay to use assets. You guys are on a big team. It's okay, but at least use them. And if you don't know how to use them inside of the game, then hire someone that does know how to use them inside of the game. That's it. Now let's get into the next thing. Be honest. If you don't have the know-how or whatever the case may be, you shouldn't be in the space. I mean, you should be investing to something that's real, but for you project leaders who don't know how, you're promising these people all these things, but you don't know how to do it. You don't know anything about gaming. And a lot of you guys that's making these games, and this is for you investors, I need you to really understand this. A lot of you guys that's making these games for investors, the investors should also know that you aren't a gamer yourself. You like the concept and you see it's easy money to be made because you see that you can prey on people who don't know anything about gaming. These are for companies like Earth 2 and these guys. These guys know absolutely nothing about gaming, but they invest into it hoping to get rich because this was the promise. So you guys need to really wake the fuck up. I'm talking about the people that's investing in these things and the people that's making this bullshit. You guys need to wake the fuck up, both sides. But don't worry, I'm here to wake everyone up. I'm going to be calling you gamers out. Not you gamers, pardon me. You projects that's making games, not for gamers. I'm going to be calling you out. And again, you might get some people, but you're trying to push your own project. No, I'm using my project as the blueprint. Y'all follow what we're doing. We're actually creating games for gamers, as I am a gamer. So I'm coming here to clean the space up. If you guys, we're not asking for you speculators and stuff. We actually don't even market the speculators. We actually market the gamers. People that actually in our community wants to play the game. So you guys that's speculating, right? You can come in our community and just, you don't have to, again, we always say this, come in our community, don't say anything, just watch and see how we treat our community versus those guys. See what we do with our community versus those guys. You'll see a total difference because we actually make games for gamers. Now, for you guys that's making these games, that's lying and stuff like that, this is the reason why I come to spaces to hear you guys lie. I'm going to start calling you guys out. And then soon I will start making YouTube videos exposing all you guys and which the practices of what you guys do. Showing your investors how much you're actually spending to get your game made. You're taking millions of dollars away from these people, and I'm actually going to show how much you're actually spending. And it's horrendous, by the way. So I want you guys to know what I'll be doing because I'm tired of you guys stealing money, and this space cannot grow or will never be taken serious by my peers, which is gamers. Right? We will never be taken serious if you guys are here. It's a lot of indie companies where we can actually use the crowdfunding services that Web3 allows people to do. What we indie dev companies that really have good ideas and really want to make really good games without having investors, corporate investors behind our backs and telling us to create the most bullshit games that you see in the AAA space. It's people like that, like people like Sons of the Forest that can actually use funding. People that makes hell of games like Scott Coffin that makes well, he doesn't make them anymore by himself, but they made Finance of Freddy's. Just imagine when Finance of Freddy's came out, what he could have done if he had just a community to just give him funding, and he just basically sold just unique rare items, especially if NFTs was out when Finance of Freddy's came out and something in his community invested in Finance of Freddy's things, those things would be worth millions of dollars right now. So yes, NFTs and stuff could be used in the right thing, but it's just the wrong people. And you people that's making these bullshit games are the wrong people. And my job is to get your ass the fuck up out of here. That's it. So I'm going to be calling you guys out. I'm going to be saving you guys who speculate in money. And gamers, I'm going to make sure to show that, yeah, there's at least one of us on the side that's trying to make it. Not just trying, we're actually doing it. But the point is, we're going to make it happen. It's gonna take time and difficult. It's gonna be difficult for us, and we understand that. Due to we're a small team, and we didn't trust me. We ain't raising out nowhere near as much as Earth 2 and all these other scams. We didn't raise nowhere near. Majority of the money, 6 figures, close to 7, it's my money. I put the money into it. So we'll be going into that. And with that being said, I'm out here.